Welcome Insiders to Tech Inside, I'm your host Eric. Before I start off the video, I just want to quickly mention that sorry for not making a lot of content recently. A lot of things are going on with work, personal stuff, etc. But there is a lot more going on, like projects that I'm involved in. So if you want to try to check anything out that I'm doing, saying that everything's being updated, your best bet is to go to InsideNetworks.net. That's basically our hub for everything. So go check out the website. The link will be down below. Regardless, getting on into the video, last week Apple held an event and they released some new MacBooks. They released the Apple iWatch. I'm not going to be making a recap video on it just because I'm kind of late now, but I am going to be making a few videos on specific products. And this video is going to be on the brand new MacBook. So Apple released a brand new MacBook, and the last time they released a MacBook was a few years ago. In fact, this past year, maybe even a little bit longer, Apple hasn't even sold a MacBook because the last MacBook was the white plastic one. But now Apple brought back the MacBook, and it's very different. The MacBook almost is another addition to the MacBook Airs. It's not an 11-inch screen, it's not a 13-inch screen, it's in the middle. It's a 12-inch Retina display, so again, in between the two MacBook Airs, and it's also extremely thin, just like the MacBook Airs. Now, what is interesting though is the color. Now, all MacBooks right now are, well, brushed aluminum. This new MacBook comes in 3 colors: black, gold, and silver, which is the same colors as the iPhone and the iPads. So I find that kind of interesting. It's kind of like they're trying to make a more personal computer. Also, to mention the design, if you open up the MacBook, you'll notice a few things. The keyboard basically is edge to edge, so there's not really a whole lot of room for your hands or anything resting on the computer, which personally I'm fine for. It makes a very small computer, which I kind of like. The keyboard keys got updated. They're supposed to be more tactile, I guess, and more responsive and whatnot. Also, the trackpad got updated with this new Force Touch technology, which I'll talk about in another video. So far you should be getting the basic gist that this is just a regular MacBook. It's thin like a MacBook Air, but it's better in some ways. Like, it has a 12-inch screen that has a Retina display, unlike the MacBook Airs. And I mean, it's thin, looks nice, etc. But there's some differences compared to other Macs, and that has to do with the design. Because, well, let's look at the ports. There's only 2 ports. There's your headphone output, and there's USB-C. The USB-C port is a brand new kind of USB port. It's very similar to like a lightning cable, as in it's reversible, so I can plug in a wire this way, or I can flip the wire around and it goes in still perfectly fine. It transfers data just like an ordinary USB port. It also can transfer video, so I can have like a monitor hooked up to the USB-C port. And on top of that, it also transfers power to charge the battery on the MacBook. So basically, Apple has added a port that does it all. Now, although the USB-C port is very similar to a lightning cable found on an iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch, it is a little bit thicker than an iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch, so I would assume Apple is not expecting to put this port into a future iPhone or iPad or something. Maybe an iPad Pro, we'll see. But going back to the MacBook is a computer. It's a full computer running Mac OS X, and now you have no options to plug in USB devices because there is no USB device available for USB-C. But Apple is going to sell an adapter for this USB-C port, so I can have power plugged in, I could have a USB port being used, maybe even an HDMI or display out so I can connect this computer to another display. That's all great, but the problem is I hate adapters, and that's almost taking away the simplicity of Mac products. When I buy a Mac, I want to be able to utilize all the ports on it and just easily plug in things. I don't want to have to carry around adapters. I can't explain enough how I love the fact that my MacBook has an HDMI out port. I haven't had an HDMI out port on a Mac before because my old Mac was a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and I had to carry around always an HDMI or VGA adapter, and when I forgot it, I was screwed. But now that I have the HDMI port, it's so nice. But unfortunately, this new MacBook doesn't have that. It only has one USB-C port, which this MacBook kind of is representing the future. Unfortunately, it's just not ready right now. In the future, I could definitely see USB-C becoming the next big thing. I mean, it could replace my HDMI port, it could replace my USB ports, it could replace power, etc. Unfortunately, it's just not ready. Currently, right now, we really don't have any USB-C supported devices. Of course, once USB-C becomes a bit more mainstream, we're gonna see more USB-C devices, and that's going to be great, but unfortunately I think that the startup for it is going to be rather slow. You can almost think about it like Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is a port on my MacBook that transfers video as well as data, and it's found like on Apple's high-end computers like the Mac Pro, and it's an awesome port. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of places have developed for it, and the places that have developed for it are rather expensive. And if no one develops for USB-C, then the new MacBook that Apple just released is going to be kind of obsolete. But with that said, I feel like the new MacBook that Apple released, it is ahead of its time, but I think it's a good stepping stone for the future. Right now, if you want to get a Mac, I would not recommend this current MacBook. It's kind of under spec'd, although I haven't mentioned specs. But also the ports, I mean, we don't even know what USB-C is going to be in the future. I hope it's going to actually be the future, but unfortunately we're not sure. Although the new MacBook that Apple has released is great, it is $1,300, and you can get a MacBook Air for a little bit cheaper. And if you rely on like USB ports or an SD card slot, the MacBook doesn't have it. But if you're looking for a Mac that's just for standard word processing, for internet browsing, watching videos, and you might just only be using your iPhone or something with the Mac, maybe it's an okay product. I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, what do you guys actually think? Personally, I'm probably not going to get this MacBook, mostly because it doesn't really work for productivity, for video editing and all the creation stuff I do. But for the average person, maybe I'm a little bit biased. Maybe for an average person, this could be a great computer. Again, I don't know. I just am thrown off that USB-C is a brand new port and we don't know what the future is. And I worry if you're a person that, oh, someone just wants to give you a thumb drive, you grab the thumb drive, oh wait, don't have a USB port. I feel like that could be a problem. But again, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see any other videos, any other opinions, or something I have on a different product, let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, guys, hopefully you'll be seeing some more videos on me soon. Hope I didn't rant too much on this video. Anyway, though, guys, thank you for watching. My name is Alex Tech Inside, and I'll see you hopefully in another video.